Hey friend, it's T. I'm back with another video. I'm in my beautiful backyard. How about those sunflowers behind me? I'm the guy, the Get Sober at 50 guy, and I hope you break the cycle of addiction and move towards a life that is fulfilling and based on your values and contribution back to the people around you. So, with that being said, I'm excited because I got a couple of things to share with you today. Number one, I finished my first draft of my How to Quit Alcohol, which really somebody told me, I had someone proofread it. They told me that this could be used for behavioral addictions or other substance addictions like food, or it could be pornography or smartphone or something like that. So I'm excited for you to read it. I'm hoping to have it wrapped up in the next 2 weeks. If that's something you want, I'm going to put a link to my little email list. Get on that list, and I'm going to email it out to everyone. No need to do anything. When I'm done with it, I'm going to push it out. Love to hear your feedback on that. But I've been going through a little bit the month of May. If you watch, I do videos about me working out in my yard and eating right and somewhat carnivore. Basically, I do sardines and avocado plus red meat. That's my main diet. And very low carbohydrate, right? And my point with that is that I've been having success at it, but I haven't done it in the approach. I've used my approach in how I quit alcohol instead of being like zero tolerance, like a tyrant to myself. I try to escape the shame and blame. And I was reading this wonderful book, as everyone's aware of this, but it's interesting to me is when you read books. Where I'm going with this is, when you read books, it's interesting to me how you're like, yeah, I get it, yeah, but you don't overly apply it, or you can see a bunch of ways you can apply it, but you're not brave enough or excited enough to actually do it. And then sometimes I go back and reread books. Like I've had this book, I always write down in the front when I bought it. I bought this book in July of 2020 after I had read it on my Kindle. So I've had this book 3 years. And I'm telling you, I've not even implemented 1% of it, and it's just crazy. I went back and reread something that really impacted me, and it's something that I've been working on that I want to share with you. It's on page. If you have the physical book, it's the second page of chapter 2, section 30 or page 30, and he says the first phase of change is focused on outcomes, meaning I'm not drinking. The scale says I'm losing weight. I'm doing things and I'm not doing these things, or things are happening. I'm making more money because I'm doing X. Those are outcome-based changes. Those are okay. And sometimes we do that when we're going to take a break from alcohol for 10 days, something like that. Then there is process, meaning you change the habits. So outcomes is primarily you're probably operating in a willpower mindset of like, okay, I'm just not going to do this thing, and that worked for a while, and it's not a horrible place to start, but it's not gonna fix it. And if that's the only place you exist, then I'm here to help you, basically, right? Number 2 is process, habit change, and there's a whole habit loop that he talks about in the book. And it's the craving, which is the cue, and then you have your routine, and then you have your reward. And for me, for example, with alcohol, I used to, this is a good example of that. I would want a beer, and instead of going to the beer, I'd be like, I'm going to drink a cup of tea and then decide. Maybe not decide, but it's a diversion. So I'd turn on the kettle, make me a cup of tea, etc., etc. Over time, I would turn on the kettle and I'd get distracted, and I'd actually never make the cup of tea, nor would I care, and the beer thought went way far away from me, and it was done. But something that I've experienced recently when I've done my changes with my diet and things like that, my neighbor's over here talking, the third and the most important that he talks about on that page is identity change. And that's a big word, and I've thought about that a lot, because it's like, oh, identity change, that's what I want. And everyone I think they know what it means, but I'm going to tell you what I think it means today that I think might be helpful for you. What he puts is identity change. This is change. This is when you change your beliefs, your worldview. I'm not supposed to drink alcohol, but I know it's. But I want to drink alcohol, but I know it's bad for me, right? Instead of saying, why would I drink alcohol? It totally is wrecking my health, making my relationships bad. It makes me do and say stupid things, right? two different worldviews. In other words, there's nothing to give up. Oh, I'm giving up alcohol. I guess I can't hang out with those friends anymore. I'm losing my friends. Versus, screw that. I'm going over here with these other cool people and I'm not losing anything. I'm gaining new friends. Different mindset. Well, I want to talk to you about, I went back through my sobriety journal. I've been working on this guide, right? It's 20 pages. and I poured everything into this thing. Like I thought about what would I need? What would I have liked to have had? And I think this is it. Like I think you can get it done with just this. But if you need direct contact with me, get on my email list. Let me know. I'm going to be offering some inexpensive coaching, or at least email support, letting you have direct access to me to help kind of work through the process. I'm going to be doing that in June of 2023. Depends on when you see this video. But going back to the identity change. So it's very important that you take breaks, right? This is why moderation is not good, because you need clarity. You need some clarity. You need to separate and be like, this is the person who I am when I drink, and this is the person who I am when I don't drink. This is the person who I am when I'm eating crap food and sugar, and this is how I feel, and this is how I feel when I don't. And you need to start, thinking of it like you got chips and you're voting. Am I putting one on this side or am I putting one on this side? There is no middle. You got to get rid of the middle. It's here or here. And then over time, you journal and you think about those two things. You don't pass judgment on yourself if you decide one day you're going to be on the quote unquote side of the behavior you don't want. You just write down how you felt. And I've been doing this for the last month with my food. And the weight's been coming off, and it's been easier than I've ever had it before. And I realized that I had an identity change because I read in my journal about when this switch happened for me with alcohol. People always ask me that. It's like, when are the cravings going to go away? And I think the answer is when your identity changes, then there's no more desire. And I'd been going through months of sobriety, and then I'd have times where I would start drinking. I would choose to drink. And I had this mindset I wrote in my journal. I said, I think I like the non-drinking Terry better than the drinking Terry. And what's not exactly said there is I had a choice. I had the choice. Do I want to be this guy or do I want to be that guy? And there was no like, well, you can't be this guy and that's bad person and da da da. It was just like, who do you want to be? And I'd had enough time in sobriety of not drinking that I really had clarity around, I like this person better. And I think, just to close that loop, I like this person. I like the non-drinking Terry better. And you know what? It was just like, I was done. I never drank again. It was just like that clicked. But I had to have a unification, meaning that I beat back the enemy. The enemy that I talk about in my guide is that enemy that's like, oh, you could just have one beer. Oh, well, let's learn how to moderate a little bit better. You're doing okay. It makes you stay in the middle. You never get a dichotomy of this is who I am when I drink and this is who I am when I'm sober. This is who I am when I use too much social media. This is who I am when I take a break. This is who I am when I'm gouging on sugar and ice cream. And this is who I am when I'm eating a healthy whole food type diet and exercising. You got to separate those so you can get a clear choice. Not the gray area in the middle. You can't. I have a mindset that once you're kind of broken, you've got to heal. It's like you're walking around with an open wound, and if you're moderating, you're kind of picking at the scab all the time. You've got to let it heal. And when you heal, you can decide: do I want to be sick? Do I want to be this person, or do I want to be that person? You with me? You with me? I know I rattle on a little bit, but this is where you want to be. And in my guide, I talk about a journaling process of how you get there, because you lie to yourself. You and me both, we love to believe our own bullshit. We just totally do, right? Oh, it's not gonna end. What one? Oh, this friend. It's all a bunch of lies. And it's not about believing the lie, because that's where you're in the trap and you live what I call life in a circle. It's about getting clarity, taking those breaks, facing the dragon and the pain of those cravings that you will survive through, and then getting clarity around who do I want to be? What is my identity? Who do I want to be to my wife, to my family, to my kids, to my community. So that's what I have for you today. I'm going to do a weight loss check-in as well in June to kind of give you an update on how I'm doing, but I am thinning out a little bit. I still got a little bit of man boobs, so don't judge me too hard there. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know. The best way you can let me know, the number one way, comment, subscribe, yes, that's fine. Get on my email list so that I can email you and you and I can chit chat. It's me and it's you. I'm here to help. I understand, and I will approach you with love and kindness and no judgment. Thank you.